Part 3 of my Christmas song project has been an absolute doozy because when I reviewed the progress that I made in my first two videos, I really wasn't that happy with almost anything that I had created. So I stepped away from the camera and went on a writing spree, almost like a brainstorming session of new melodic and harmonic ideas that might provide like a satisfying musical framework for this song I'm trying to write. I ended up creating probably another 15 or 20 independent ideas, which is a lot, but not that crazy. And you know, they're not all good ideas. So after a stage of maybe like a couple of days of just like doing all these ideas, I sat down yesterday and I started making a video about how I was going to sort through all of those existing ideas, pick the ones that were best, sort them into hell yes or no categories, and then assemble parts of the hell yeses into a song. And I guess in the end, that's what has happened, but the process was much more difficult than I was expecting. I'm going to play you what I have so far, what I have assembled. But let me first pause and explain why it was kind of difficult to create. One of the ideas that I wrote as I was just trying to churn things out, looked a lot like a complete song, or a song that was like 80% complete. I just stood in my kitchen one night with my guitar hanging over my neck and spent about an hour and a half just like working on the song one line at a time, which is a way that I have written pretty frequently over the last few years. I usually have a good amount of success. I'm usually pretty happy with the results of that type of writing process. And one thing that definitely makes me happy is that if you just stay with it, if you're willing to devote the time and have the necessary like energy to remain focused, you can get through a complete song, and that's what I did. And that's kind of what ended up creating a problem as I went back through all these other scattered ideas looking for the things that really excited me. It's that in the back of my head, I had something that I knew was pretty close, and that I thought, well, with minimal effort, I could finish this and then record it and put it out in time for Christmas. And as of about 11 o'clock last night, when I finished a video for this part 3, I thought that's what I was gonna do. And then I lied in bed and listened to my 3-year-old coughing, and my mind continued to spin, and I sort of decided that that wasn't gonna be good enough. That instead what I needed to do is to combine the one really exciting to me part of that complete song with the other idea that had been the most attractive throughout the entire writing process. It was really actually the only one that bubbled to the surface of my memory even after I had moved on from it and tried to write other songs, which is typically a good sign. Now the challenge is that I don't really know why I like that idea, and I'm not sure. It almost doesn't. On some level, I feel like it's not good. I don't know why, but I can't get it out of my head. So I guess I like it. It's kind of hard to explain, but the original idea was went like this. What? And then it kind of had a variation that came after that. Kind of a long, it's got a lot of features that I even try to avoid in my songs. Like it's kind of a long melody before you get to the end of the line. And it's sort of slow and stately, which is leaning into a truly depressing vibe that I kind of wanted to move away from for this song. But I just can't escape the fact that it's the idea that I remember. And when I listen to the little voice memos demo that I recorded of that idea, it's the one that makes me go, oh yeah. So it would be silly for me not to use that idea. It would almost feel like a betrayal of my own like artistic intuition, which is something I've spent my whole lifetime trying to develop, a sense of whether I think something is good. And to have that sense so clearly and to ignore it is like sacrilege or something. So instead of leaving that aside and going with the easy path, I decided I was going to try to combine that idea with my favorite part of the more complete song, which was the chorus. They were at slightly different tempos, but I think the stately thing actually is improved by being sped up a little bit. And now I have sort of an idea of how I'm going to combine them, at least very roughly, and that's what I'm going to demonstrate to you in this video. I'm going to try to work the angles with this camera. How's this work? Everything about this is wrong. But if I lowered this chair, I'd be like, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, here's how I think the song is going to go. All right, so, and I'm not a good enough piano player to play the melody and well, so I'm just going to play little bass notes, basically, and use that as a guide for most of the song. But here's how the melody is going to go, the basic structure. Da 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 da. It's gonna kind of like have a what's the word? I'm gonna let it like fade into this sort of spectral essence to leave a space before the chorus starts, and the chorus will be da 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 oh da 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 evergreen. That's kind of how it goes. It's obviously, you got to work on the transitions a little bit. Obviously, I don't have any words, really. But a few things about this excite me. I like the verse melody, even though, like I said, it kind of feels odd, but I do like it. I like that the variation on it, and like the second half of the verse, has this chromaticism that happens. That sounds really, really nice to me. And then I like that the chorus has a different, similar tempo, but different groove. It's got more of like a, you might call it like a halfway Bo Diddley beat because of the it's not as much of a straight like 4/4 kind of stately feel. I think that's going to provide a nice contrast. And then there's another idea that I want to try to include that in this moment I don't remember what the melody is, but it basically is a why don't I just play it for you? Da 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 ba 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 da 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 Well, I don't need to play it again. Kind of got into a fugue state there. And actually, there were some moments in that, I'm going to have to watch that again. There were some moments where I liked what I was doing during the chromatic bit. So maybe that's the way the melody is going to go. The point is that you understand I've got the parts. I've kind of got a sense of the order that I want those parts to be in. So now I just need to actually assemble them into what feels like a song. And I think that means that the next step, part 4, is going to involve me actually sitting in front of a multi-tracker. The thing that you're probably here to see. And if you've been with me so far, thank you for your time, for your energy. So that I can actually record a demo of this and use that as a framework to develop it. Because it doesn't have a really clear structure or things like a set of lyrics to clearly weave it together, I think it's going to make sense for me to try to develop this as I demo it and really finish it and then write words. So I guess that's what the next video is going to be about. But for now, I'm glad to report that I have settled on what I'm going to be developing. It feels like real progress. And let's see. It's the 12th, so I have slightly less than 2 weeks until Christmas. My goal is to finish this song and finish a recorded version of it and share it out into the world by Christmas. I think that's very doable, unless this whole thing falls apart, but I'm not going to think like that. Thank you so much for your time, for staying with me through whatever this is. I know it's not the normal stuff for my channel, but I really appreciate you. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you around.